All right, what are we doing today, Andrew?
We're gonna be sandblasting the uppers and lowers, and then the spindles too.
Okay.
And then we're gonna paint them.
Why don't you tell the audience what we're working on?
I just did.
No. But what car?
Oh, the Impala.
Oh, okay. All right. So you said you're gonna work on the sandblast, the uppers and lowers, and then the spindles as well.
Yeah, and then we're gonna modify this plate and the lower control arm.
That's for the air ride, right?
Yeah, so the bags sit on this.
So how are you gonna attach the plate to the control arm? I know the factory, or not the factory, but the company, the intention is to bolt it to the control arm only, but we discussed that and we thought that was kind of cheesy. So we discussed cutting one of these tabs off, right?
This one. Cut this one off. Grind these off, whatever. And then we're gonna do a weld. What do you call it?
Plug weld?
A plug weld, yeah. Plug weld, and then weld around here. And then wherever it touches.
And then the bottom, you're gonna, on the inside, you're gonna weld it as well, right?
The what?
On the inside of the control arm, the perimeter, around the ID.
Right there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or whatever, wherever's making contact.
Yep.
So once you do that, the bushings are in. You sandblast them. We're gonna paint them so they're nice.
Yeah, paint them.
And then we're going to, what did we discuss? Install the airbags, run the lines for the airlines, which is super critical because if it chafes on anything or it rubs or gets burned, the whole car is just going to basically hit the ground, right? So we need to take extra caution to make sure that is routed properly. Do you think we might be able to get to the? Well, do you think we might be able to get to the rear today?
Possibly.
But we still have to install.
It depends on how long it takes to sandblast it and modify it and then paint it.
Okay.
Because I also have to put them on, and then we have to get the ball joints too.
I'll go to the store and grab the ball joints.
Okay.
They were ready, I think, last Thursday, or not last Thursday, but last Tuesday. So, okay. Well, looks like we have to install the new brakes as well.
Yeah, I know.
The brakes, the master cylinder, and the power booster.
That'd be last though.
Yeah, that would be last. But if we can get the whole front end squared away, then that part of the car will be done, right? And then we can just work our way to the back. What's she up to?
Yeah.
Oh, looks cool.
I gotta make that a little smooth.
Well, you can grind that flat.
Yeah.
Nice. It's definitely more of a permanent professional install rather than just a bolt together setup. Looks good.
Thank you.
So you de-blasted it. That's really cool.
Can't really get under here because of this.
Yeah, that's okay. I mean, that's plenty strong.
Once I ground that, make it smooth, flat, then that'll be good. And then
The bottom welded. All right, nice. That's awesome. Remy likes it too.
Yep, and then that brace just slides in.
The strut bar.
Yeah, strut bar. And then take that off and then
Take what off?
like this flake stuff.
Oh, yeah, we're gonna paint it. Right.
And then paint
Nice. You ready to paint?
it. Not yet. And then finish this and then we can start painting.
Get all his fingerprints off him.
And grease.
Looks good though, man. Good job.
Yeah, thank you.
That's really cool. Night and day.
Curious to see how it rides too.
Nice welds. Which one should I weld like that?
Me?
You didn't teach yourself. I taught you.
You did?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
You know what I mean. I taught you everything.
No, you didn't.
What didn't I teach you?
I'm sure there's things that you didn't teach me.
Like what?
I don't know. Like certain things.
Name one.
What?
Like name one.
Name one?
Yeah. Well, I guess obviously I didn't teach you everything.
Really? Like what?
No, I have not taught you everything. Just most things.
Yeah.
It is nice though.
What's that?
I said, it is nice that I could go to the store and come back and have the work gets done.
It's nice to get paid too.
Sweet.
Just gonna let that drive. And then should be able to paint.
Cool.
What are you working on today?
What's that?
What are you working on?
I am working on setting up this rear differential in the right location. I just finished the control arms, so I need to position this where it needs to go, and then I can start cutting the control arms to length. But first I need to make sure these are in the right spot. It's the little fine details. You know, I'm drinking coffee.
Oh. Who made you coffee?
That would be you. Yeah, I appreciate it. So I have to make sure that they're both the same side to side and front to back. So this is about,
What does this tool do?
it's my makeshift plumb bob. So basically the design is you hang it and it just, the weight on the end of the string makes it completely vertical. So it doesn't have a slant to it at
I
all.
see.
So I need to adjust it just a little bit. I need to be biased an inch towards the rear of the car. Now there is some adjustability in the control arm, so it's not perfect. It's not the end of the world. It says, what's that saying? Measure twice, cut once.
Yeah.
It's about right. So it looks like I need to move the axle a little bit further. Let's see here.
Measure 4 times, cut once. Or drill a hole once.
That's 3 inches or so, 3-4 inches. So yeah, so I'm gonna move the axle this way. This thing weighs probably like 500 pounds.
You can bench that, no problem.
So,
I'm gonna go see what Andrew's working on. What you working on, buddy?
I'm working on the lower control arms for the on the Impala. I'm trying to see this. Bring it here. The camera. Trying to push this out a little bit so I can get this spacer on the lower controller.
Okay.
So I can slide it in. These bushings are like a hair wider than the stock ones, so it's hard to get in, as you can see. So now I have to do the other side.
just measure the distance here. So it's like 43 and a half. So I need to cut this down about right here. So this goes like this. Like that.
Okay. Did you custom design this?
Yep. He's a little bit longer. He's not that long. Alright, so I'm gonna go cut this about right here on the cold saw, and then mock it up. I'll have to tack weld it to this bushing, and once everything's lined up and where it's supposed to be, I can weld this. This actually slides inside this tube. And I weld around the perimeter, and then weld this, and then that part's done, and then I do the other side. And then
You
when
already
that's
built
finished,
this for the other side?
yeah. And then once that's complete, then I could build the upper shock hoops, where the shock's down up here. It was going through the floor, but that's kind of retarded, so I don't want to do that. So we're gonna make it. I'm gonna make some shock mounts that'll go right here on the frame, here instead of to the floor.
Provide more support.
No, it just gets it out of the cab.
Oh, I see. Oh, he had it up there.
It was through the
Oh.
floorboard, so it's not a really
A little tacky.
yeah, not a good spot for it. So.
Yeah. Can't have a sick ride and have tacky parts.
No.
All right, go cut it up.
I need to put a set of relief cuts in the tube notch, so that when I weld it, I get full penetration on the joint, on the weld. So I'll do that next on the grinder.
That'll be interesting.
All right, so I'll just take this off like this. Go to the grinder.
So what was the purpose of that?
Why
Why do you have to do that?
Because if you keep it perpendicular to the bushing, when you go to weld it, the weld will just go on the outside of the tube, so you don't get the full strength of the tube. So if you cut it back, you actually you weld all the way up. So basically, you get what's called base metal strength. It's a damn dog. You get base metal strength if you weld from the inside wall of the tube, and you build material up around it. It basically becomes one piece.
I see.
But if you just go on the outside of it, it's just superficial. So, dog wants to weld it too.
He wants to help.
So this bracket that they made,
Uh huh.
that makes the shock go sideways, which should be straight up, because the mount needs to go right here.
Yeah. Well, the mount can't go right there because the control arm's in the way. So what I would suggest is put the mock upper control arm up, because you don't want to have to mount the bracket and come to find out that you can't cycle the upper control arm.
Yeah.
It's actually pretty wide. I think it comes out to here. I think. I'm not sure. So I don't know what their design intention was. It looks pretty close to the control arm.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like it's on this side of it. But I would still, well, we could always, we can bend this if we have to.
Yeah.
Good job.
Thank you.
Perfect.
Oh, whoops. There you go.
Perfect. Today's mock-up day.
Mock-up.
Yeah, mock-up day.
It's also for the first day of spring.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
It's also the first day of spring. And
And we're putting air springs in.
Auntie Cheryl's birthday. Say happy birthday to Cheryl.
Happy birthday, Cheryl.
She's 21 finally.
Did that change our geometry at all?
Maybe about like less than half an inch. But hard to say.
I almost feel like that brake line mat is gonna have to move.
Yeah.
Is that true or no?
I mean, it would work if it was.
I was thinking
We
that,
have to do the brake lines anyways.
what's that?
We have to do the brake lines anyways, don't we?
Yeah. What I'm thinking is take off this nut here. Take this off. Move it back, because when you do weld it, I'm not really comfortable with just welding it directly to the top part of the frame. I don't think there's enough surface area. What I think we're gonna have to do, and I don't know if you disagree, let me know, but it's weld it like this, and possibly
Whoa.
even
Wait,
notch
how?
it back. Like
How?
how? So like this. So basically like that. But put a notch in it here down
For support.
Yeah, for support, so you can get full. I don't know. I think over
That
time.
would lower it.
No, I'm not saying make it that low, but I think I'm not sure.
Like make a bracket. Extra brackets for it, right? That weld onto here.
Yeah, just increasing the surface area, because if you just weld it on the very perimeter here, or
it's weak.
it's going to be weak, and over time it's going to cycle and it's going to break off, and then we're going to get a call from the customer like, what the hell? So I think what I would prefer, if it's possible, is to do the same thing, but cut it in here and make an L, and then notch it, and then weld it on the center, and then weld it along the sides on the bottom. All right, we're trying to position the shock mount before we tack it to make sure that it's not binding with anything while it's going through its suspension cycle. So Andrew, go ahead and jack it up, and then I will hold the shock mount down and see make sure everything clears. You know what we're gonna do?
Cut it.
We are going to tack it first. Because this is too hard. Want to grab the welder, Andrew? Where's he at?
He's gonna grab the welder.
Okay.
The welder can grab it.
I'm gonna tack it and play. It's too hard to hold it down and position it at the same time. Okay, now let's try that. Cycle it. Let's see here. I'm gonna pick it up by the spin motor. You can set the jack underneath her. There you go. All right. Yep. All right, that's full.
Yeah.
That's full bump stop. So that's pretty
bump?
good. Yep. So that's fully laid out. So basically, when this is in this position, the car is gonna be sitting on the either the oil pan or the headers.
So what does that mean?
This means that when you lower the car, when we lay it out, it's just gonna sit. You wouldn't drive it like
Sit
that.
very low, yeah.
Oh, so he'd never have it that low anyway.
Yeah, not to drive. I mean, maybe when it's sitting still, but that's about it.
When it lowers the bags.
So this would be full droop here. That's full droop. So that would be when it's fully aired up. Or sorry, yeah, aired up. I like it.
Cool.
You like it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So now we need the right ball joint.
So we ordered 4 ball joints, and I think everyone that's ever worked on a car has experienced this at some point in time or another. We bought 4 ball joints. I've noticed that 2 were not right, so I sent you to the parts store to grab the correct ones. And
Who's you?
you holding the camera, they did not have the right ones, so then we went to Huss Brothers. We got the right ones, and then coming to find out, the
Huss
top
Brothers
ones
for the win again.
Yeah, Huss Brothers for the win again. Coming to find out, the top ones weren't correct either, but we didn't notice that because the ones that we got for the bottom were they're radically different. You could tell
You
from a
noticed
mile
right away.
away that they weren't the right ones, but the top ones, they were similar in appearance. So we have to go on tomorrow. Maybe you want to go during your lunch break and grab 2 more uppers. So we just mocked up the old one so we can get everything lined up and then positioned correctly before we weld it.
Okay.
So what we'll do is we'll weld this up fully.
I'm gonna weld that right now.
Yeah, you can weld it.
Okay.
And then I think I'm gonna check the clearance one more time from the shock body. Yeah, we're good. Okay, so Andrew, he painted the lowers. He welded the plates on. He sandblasted them. The uppers, same thing. He sandblasted them, painted them. The spindles are sandblasted, but they're not painted yet. We'll do that next. And then the next thing to go in is going to be the spring buckets. So that goes like that. This goes like this. The reason why it's at an angle because it matches the arc of the control arm.
It's inflating.
Yeah. And then this goes like so. This engages like this. This kind of sits like that. Not like that. Oh, like this area. So that sits like that. Okay, so there's a bolt that engages this bottom plate and goes through here with a washer, and that sits like that. And this kind of just sits in a spring pocket like this. And then the airline will come out somewhere.
How do you keep that spring pocket to stay in?
The load of the car just kind of keeps it engaged. There's like a little, there's a receiver in the frame that the cylinder sits in. So when the weight's in the car, it keeps it engaged, or keeps it engaged.
So like, what would happen if you were to like lift your car up with a floor jack, and it decompresses?
It'll go like this. It'll fall out, but it won't fall out. It'll just kind of disengage. So, anyways, yeah, that's how that goes. Goes like that. The most important thing to be aware of when you're putting airbags in is where you route the lines. So we're going to have to be super judicious about where we run the lines. We're going to have to do it in a manner that doesn't rub on anything or chafe. It doesn't get burned by the exhaust. It might actually go through the frame. Maybe that may be the safest route, just through the frame. So yeah, that's that. So that's kind of how it's gonna look when it's done.
Sweet.
Okay. What do you think?
Yeah, looking
I
good.
think it's sick.
And then it'll have disc brakes, new calipers. It's gonna have new brake lines.
Sweet. I can't wait to see it.
So I finished welded the rear control arm, the trailing arm yesterday. I had that one done a couple weeks ago, so I finally finished this one up. I mocked everything up, got the shock where I think I want to have it mounted. Initially, the shock was actually, they had it through the floorboard,
Right.
and the customer did not like that, which no one really would like that.
Right.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make new mounts for the shock. It'll mount to the frame, and then there'll be a tie bar that ties them both together. But this is how it'll sit here. This is how far back it's gonna sit, and it has 3 mounting locations, depending on the ride quality and the ride height. But it's fully adjustable. So right now there's ARP bolts sitting it all up. We got new ballistic fab joints in yesterday. Those are tacked up. So this is basically the way it's gonna sit when it's all done. It may be a little bit lower than it was before, but I think it'll handle better.
Much safer, that's for sure.
Much safer. So we need to do the upper shock mounts, and then the next item to tackle is going to be the upper link bars. So these are going to go from here, and it'll go to right here. We have to build a bracket for it. So yeah, but these are a pain in the butt
Why?
because it's just.
Well, didn't you make them?
I did.
You have to design them first.
Yeah, I know. It's just a lot of work. So, and each one had to be machined, independent of. It wasn't just an assembly it's an assembly now, but it was these little tiny pieces were machined and notched. And if you look underneath here, everything is it's contoured to fit perfectly. So, anyways, but yeah, so that's what I did today.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it, yeah. So, but it was cool to see it kind of together and visualize the concept and how it's going to look. I think it looks freaking sick. What do you think, Andrew?
I like it a lot.
Think it's pretty cool?
Yeah.
So,
Especially once it gets painted, you can.
yeah, we're going to paint these.
I'm liking this sign right here.
That's kind of cool, too. But it all kind of ties together. We're going to paint it. This is what color did he say he wanted it?
Like
Well,
this blue.
this is the paint over here. Is it like a blue or a green? It's
Well,
a blue, huh?
you can see those
Oh.
links up there. It's exactly what the color.
That's like is that like a navy blue, royal blue?
It's like.
It's an
I feel like it's a little bit lighter than a navy blue.
It just says it's blue.
That's what it says?
It's just blue.
It looks a little bit darker from the cap. It's right on the bottom.
So yeah, that's the color.
Okay.
It'd be that color. And then
like
we'll
it.
paint this black. Center section. So yeah, should be
Nice.
getting closer.
How long are you thinking? Another month?
No, more like 3 months.
3 months.
Probably finish it right in the middle of 110-degree weather, summer. So, I mean, the back won't be as. We'll work on the back next weekend. I'll get the shocks designed, the mounts, and then the link bars for the top will be pretty easy, and then the rear's done actually. So then it's onto the front. So that's a different story. We'll have to. I haven't even thought about that yet.
You have to come up with a design too.
This will be a little bit easier because I'm not going to go as radical. This one's actually, it's actually designed pretty well. The back was really messed up, so we'll try and salvage what we can with those, and then we'll have to make a new cross member mount for the center section, and then but it's not going to be. It's not. I don't think this side. This should be a little bit easier. So.
You say that now.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, so that's it for today.